just like at home.
Bonsoir à tous.
Hello, everyone. Good
Bienvenue
evening.
dans notre sixième
Welcome
Space
to our
Monkey
sixth
Report.
Space
Nous
Monkey
sommes en direct de
Report.
la Paris Games Week
We're
depuis
live
en
from
français.
Paris
On
Games
sera
Week. We're
doublé en
doing it
anglais
live.
sur YouTube et Facebook
So
pour
we're doing it in
ceux qui
French
nous
and
suivent
we're
en
being
live.
dubbed in
Je suis
English
Charlotte
on
Dubois,
Facebook,
senior
YouTube,
community
and
developer
Twitter.
à
I'm
Ubisoft
Charlotte
Montpellier
Dubois,
et je suis
Senior
accompagnée
Com
par
Dev at
Émile
Montpellier,
Morel
and I'm accompanied by
et
Émile
Émile
Morel
Bernier.
and Kevin Irwin.
Donc Émile est creative
Émile
director
is
associé
the Associate
et
Creative
Kevin
Director,
est writer sur
and
le
Kevin
jeu.
is the writer on the
Aujourd'hui,
game.
on a pas mal de sujets qu'on va aborder.
We've got a couple topics
Mais
that we
avant
want to
tout,
talk
pour
about
ceux qui nous
today.
suivent en ligne, si vous avez des
For those
questions,
who
vous pouvez les
are
poser
following
avec
us
le
online, if you want to ask
#AskBGE.
them
Que ce soit
with
sur
the
le chat ou sur
hashtag
Twitter, on écrira un
AskBGE,
article dans les semaines à venir pour vous répondre.
in the coming weeks we'll write an
Pour les sujets
article
qu'on
and
aimerait
answer
aborder
those
aujourd'hui, on veut
questions.
parler un peu de notre monde,
For
de
the
nos
topics that we
personnages.
want to talk about
Un des
today,
personnages
we
qu'on
want
avait
to talk
évoqué en
about the
2017,
world
c'est
and the
un personnage qui
characters.
s'appelle Dakini.
In
Est-ce
2017,
que
we
tu peux
talked
nous en
about
dire
the
un peu
character
plus sur
named
elle?
Dakini. Can you tell us more about her? A lot of the
characters
characters are very important in the game. It was very important in the first one, and this one as well, very strong and colorful characters. So Dakini that you can see at the end of the first trailer from E3 2017 is a legendary captain, very important, and you can see it with the green eyes. We wanted to establish a connection with Jade, that everyone knows from the first BGE, that we can see once again. Jade was a young journalist who brought together orphans on planet Natilis. She took care of them, but she had money troubles, and so she did a lot of things with photos. She would go out with photos, and we can see photos from the first BG. And so Jade would go out and discover a whole lot of truths about the world. Something that's very important to us with Jade is people talk about her as one of the most emblematic female characters in a game, and it's something that we want to really bring honor to in BGE2, bring really real characters, true characters, and a lot of diversity through this game. That's something that's really important to us. So a lot of concept arts from the first game that haven't been seen in a long time and that really became Jade. In the first game, Jade was really surrounded always by characters. Paige, of course, behind me that you can recognize, an inseparable duo. And this group of characters was really important in BGE2. A gang of pirates in space, a legendary crew that the character, that the player, will establish throughout his adventure. So, just as a recap, BGE2 is a prequel to BGE1, and so the Jade that you just saw in the trailer is younger than the one from the first game. She's in a very different stage of her life. Kevin, can you tell us about Jade? So, as Emile was saying, Jade is younger, and as we saw in the trailer that you just saw, she's the bad guy. She's not the hero anymore, she's the enemy of the pirates. So you as a player, you're going to try to get away from her, stay clear of this younger version. In System 3 at this time, there are many legends of this teenager who would go around and kill pirates. It's a legend because no one's ever seen her. Those who might have died. So there are all these myths around this scary character. So back to Dakini. We saw in the last Space Monkey report this concept art for Dakini. She is, again, at another stage in her life. We won't say more for the moment, but she's different from the one that we saw in the first trailer. What we wanted to show you today is the 3D modeling of this character. There's a side-by-side. On the left, the concept art, and on the right, the 3D model. We have the same with an angle on her face. We really want the characters to ring true and to be true to what we had imagined. And we want to push as far as possible the quality so that as soon as you see them, you really have strong reactions. So we work on the skin, on the makeup, everything is really essential to us. And then, there we go, there's a video with a turnaround of the character. Dakini, at this time in her life, she has a very Indian influence. That was really important to us, this ethnic Indian side of her. Through her clothing, of course, all the little details, the texture, the different the jewelry, the hairstyle, all the tattoos, all of it reflects this traditional ethnic Indian influence. So there's her face with all the makeup. And just after, we'll see a piece of jewelry. There we go. That's what's on her face and on her vest. There we go, with little holographic winds. We'll talk about, it's made out of Diva light, and we'll talk about it afterwards again. And there's the texture of her clothing. We really worked hard on that, and we want all the characters to have that level of quality. So different types of lighting that really show her off. So Dakini, to tell you a little bit more about her, she's the most legendary pirate character in the world. She's the one who launched piracy. She recruited the legendary officers that you saw in the trailer, and she's obsessed with the Mocha's Gate, which is an artifact that's very mysterious outside of System 3. She thinks that something very important is hidden behind Mocha's Gate, so she went off with her legendary crew, the pirates, to discover this gate and what's behind it. So we talked about Dakini and a little bit about Jade, who was in the first game. Another character who was very famous from the first game is Mamago. Can you tell us a little bit more, Kevin, about him? So another fan favorite. People who played the first game probably have the Mamago song in her head, and they've had it for years. So if you watched the last live stream, we showed the concept art for the Mamago clan in BGE2. And while looking through the archives, we found concept arts of Jade and also of Mamago from the first game, BGE. The Mamago clan, they're mechanics. As a player, as a pirate, they are a member of this piracy world. That's where you go to buy upgrades for your ship, to repair your ship, just like you did in the first game. Mamago, they grab just hunks of junk and they make things that are great out of it. And they have Jamaican influences, just like you can see. All the songs as well. And we also showed in the last live stream a Rhino Hybrid. This one is also Mamago, so you can't see his butt this time. We covered it this time. So you can see all the equipment of the clan, as well as the jetpack. So yeah, we wanted to talk about the jetpack. It's really important to us. We're in a world where everyone in System 3 might have a jetpack. It's not the most wealthy, just pirates. It's really just a normal means of transportation. We can see in the architecture in the cities, you can go really vertically and explore it, and of course the player will have one too. That's great. Everyone loves the jetpack. That's really cool. So that's one of the pirate equipments. What else do we have as a piece of equipment as a pirate? So in the next images, we can see that in equipment, we have the jetpack, we have a sword that you see in your back, you know, the saber. It's really important for a pirate, a space pirate. And the belt, it's a little bit in the shade, but you can see that it's an Astra launcher on his belt. And you launch Astras that are special powers that people in this world use to fight. We'll talk about Astras a little bit more, and that's what really gives a signature to a fight. Also very important is the ethnic aspect. We want it to be really strong with pirates. Things are very standardized, normalized, and the different pirates really grab and have those influences for themselves. When you see a pirate, we want you to be able to right away know, okay, we know where he comes from. For example, this one, you know that it's obvious that he's Japanese in terms of influence. So we're looking into traditional ethnic signs so that it's very easy to recognize. Also, another very important aspect is we want a little bit of sci-fi futuristic aspect to them. So we see these prosthetics, bionic limbs, but they also have ethnic influences. These have African influences, so we mix those two aspects together. It's really important for our pirates. And we asked a question in Devs Ask series. So when in the Space Monkey, we asked a question this summer. about customization and equipment, what for the audience, what for a badass pirate, what was necessary. And bionic limbs was an essential, as well as tattoos, scars. And this is a perfect example of a character that's equipped by with all these different elements, as well as Divalite's tattoos. In this world, it's really important to have a means to distinguish yourself and to really put yourselves forward. Everyone in this world is a clone, and so we need a distinction. Here we have a character that combines everything we just talked about. The ethnic, Egyptian ethnic side that we just talked about. A little bit of futuristic with the belt, a little bit of some lights there. And customization with Diva lights. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but it's the rarest and the most expensive aspect and material. So the most famous and the richest can even make tattoos on their skin. And he even has holographic horns made out of Diva light. So the most experienced players will be able to do that themselves to be the most unique as possible. This character as well is very customized. This is everything. Pimped out. You've got all the weapons, the prosthetics. She changed the skin of the color of her skin, holograms, and even the inside of his eyes. He put Diva light inside his eyes to change the color. So we talked a lot about Diva lights. Maybe not everyone knows what that is. We talked about it in the blog, but maybe can we talk about it a little bit? What is it? How does it work? So today we wanted to talk about and show you what it looks like. It's the rarest material in this world. It's very expensive, the most expensive, and it's an almost endless source of energy. We can join up different parts of Diva light and make something more complex, and it's used mostly in this world for nanobots, which are used for everything. We'll see some artworks. And here's a video with different states of Diva light from the moment it starts, when it's mined, all the way through the refining and the manufactured Diva light in the end. So everything starts. So, sorry, we just saw the glove that was used by the slaves. This is raw Diva light when it appears in Naraka. And the sphere inside this crystal, that's Diva light, that's what we're going to get, and that's what we're going to mine. On the left, that's once it's refined, and on the right is what we get at the end. It's kind of like a microprocessor, really tiny, that we can put inside the nanobots and can be used for many, many things in System 3. So what are the different uses of Diva light in the world? There's the next artwork. So we talked about clones. As pirates, we need to be unique. Clones are used by Diva light. It's infused in nanobots, and that's how we build over time the bodies for humans and hybrids. And also, if we get hurt, we can get repaired. Our body can be repaired thanks to Diva light and nanobots. Another use is Astras that I was talking about. There's a concept art. And we see a character that's protected by a sort of shield. This shield is composed out of tiny nanobots that are flying. And once they're connected, they create this shield behind which the character can be completely protected. In the second trailer that we just put for the people who are here, Shani at one point is covered in a sort of shield, an armor. That armor is composed out of Diva light, which protects her completely, and she can just walk around in skin. She can breathe because she has that armor made out of Diva light around. And we can do that at any time during the game, go through space with a Diva light suit around us. There's also a form of Diva light which is pure. It's used kind of like gas in System 3. It's used for ships. We see a kind of a hunting ship, just a fighter, but it's also used for motherships, really huge ships, so the whole way. So Diva light is what's going to be used to propel ships through the system. It's pretty much an endless source of energy. And finally, the last use, we talked about a couple examples, but they're also the holograms. So we have the heights of Ganesha City, and on this jewelry shop, all the different holograms are made out of tiny nanobots. Once they're connected, they make these 3D images that you can go around, you can go through them, but it's a more standard use, and it's a unique signature in the world of BGE2. So I think we got what Diva light was, how powerful it is, all the different uses it has. Now, can we know more about how it happens? How is it created? How does it come into this world? So we talked about it a little bit, but there's only one zone in System 3. It's Naraka. It's a zone of an entire side of the planet Soma, and it's towards space, and you often have meteor showers, and during those meteor showers, that's when it appears. This huge rock formation was created by a meteor that exploded a lot of Earth high up in the sky, but it was kind of frozen because of Diva lights. So we can see just how huge they are. That tiny ship down there is actually 500 yards long. That's to tell you just how big these things are. So as a space pirate, you can go through canyons, you can go through to all these zones and discover the whole of Naraka. So very, very strange side of this planet. And it's on this side of Soma, at Naraka, that are going to be sent hybrid slaves. In this case, they're monkeys, and they're sent with protective gloves to harvest Diva light, which falls from the sky in meteors. They are not allowed to get back in the ship if they don't come back with Diva light. As soon as they have Diva light, they get back in the ship, the cargo ship, and it's then sent to the storage centers. That's where it's going to be refined. And the hybrids also work in sulfur mines elsewhere on Soma, because you also need sulfur for a chemical reaction, which is going to create the end result of Diva light. So that's a typical mine. You have a main pylon and then a drilling machine in the bottom. So you have a lot of hybrids with terrible working conditions. They're going to get the sulfur and bring it back to Naraka. So you can see the entire zone where you get all the sulfur, and that's what you'll see when you go above it in a ship, and not a bike, like he said. So the corporation who makes all these holes, they really don't care about the planet. They're destroying it as time goes on, and so they just build all these holes one by one. And as a player, I can go around and you can find secrets and explore. But anyway, that's what the Earth looks like. The terrain, very yellow because of the sulfur, and that's what the chemical reaction is going to come from. This is a typical scene, one of the hybrids going to grab the Diva light in Naraka to bring it to the storage centers. So those storage centers are the most secured place in System 3 because Diva light is so rare, it's so expensive. The cargo ships arrive to the storage space. Diva light's, pure Diva light is stored there, but that's also where they have their refineries. It can become nanobots in an industrialized way, an industrial size of Diva light, or we can just leave it as is for fuel. And so refined Diva light is stored in vaults, and players and space pirates, those buildings are what they're going to try to attack and get the Diva light from. All right, sounds very clear. So we talked a lot about Diva lights. We showed a lot of concept art, research, not necessarily the final product that we're showing tonight. We're showing what we're looking at. And we're also looking at the moment at what Diva light is going to sound like. So we're going to show you a video of how that goes.
Bonjour Christophe.
Hello, Christophe.
Bonsoir tout le monde.
Hello, everyone.
Alors j'ai l'impression que les gens t'ont reconnu, mais
So
donc,
apparently
Christophe
people
Herral est
recognize you.
compositeur sur
Christophe
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Herral is composer on Beyond Good and Evil 2 and cello player for a little over a year. And Raphaël Joffre,
Music designer sur le
who is music designer for the game.
Donc, on vient de voir une petite vidéo
So we
de
just
toi,
saw a short video of you.
sur, c'est
So
quoi
you
la
were
grille,
doing research on
musicalement parlant.
what
Tu peux nous en
Diva
dire un
Light
peu plus?
sounds like, its musical identity. So we wanted to find something organic because it's a string and it's made out of horse's hair. But the cello is only the basis. Afterwards, we want to go farther, and then that's when it becomes that's when it goes into the computer, and that's when we can go farther. So what's really interesting is how much Christophe saw how unstable Diva Light is. You really get that from the sound and the video. In the first sounds, you get that instability.
Bon, c'est un des matériaux de notre monde, mais
So
c'est pas-
Diva Light is
c'est
one
pas
of the
la
materials, but it's not the
chose.
only
Est-ce qu'on exprime
place, the only thing that needs an
d'autres
identity.
matériaux,
What
d'autres
else do we? What else has an identity? So of course, a lot of other places, characters, elements, and pieces of the story are very emblematic in our universe. And we want all of these elements to have their own identity, their own signature, musical signature, and sounds that are attached to it, kind of leitmotif, so that the players can, as soon as they hear a sound and a music, they know exactly what they're going to be dealing with.
Ok. Alors, dans notre communauté, dans le Space
So in
Monkey
our
programme,
community,
c'est un problème
in
communautaire,
the
mais
Space
aussi
Monkey
ici,
program,
je pense qu'on a des
which
gens
is
qui
with
ont
our
aimé
community,
notre
and here as well, a lot of people loved the first game. How do we go from the first game to the second game in terms of music? So first of all, we want themes. We want themes that we know from BG1, and we're not just going to be satisfied with playing those. We're going to modify them, we're going to make them better, we're going to boost them. And what do you think? Yeah, we're going to do that. So that's why we have a few examples that we can show you. Small reward sounds from BG1. The original and a new version for BG2. Another one. So it's just research at the moment, exclusive research at the moment.
Et il y a quoi d'autre comme
What else?
musical,
Any
ambiance,
new
ça?
things in terms of music apart from that? One of the really new things that we want to bring in BG2 is we want the world itself to produce music. So of course we'll have music that's composed by Christophe that is going to be playing in players' ears, but we also want sounds from the universe that come and mingle into this soundscape. If you go in a laboratory or if you go in the storage spaces for Diva Light, for example, you'll have a lot of mechanical sounds that are going to come and synchronize themselves. An electric buzz or the sound of wind, those will fit in terms of rhythm and in terms of flow, so that we are between diegetic and extra diegetic.
Très varié culturellement.
So the world is very culturally diverse, a lot of different ethnics. It's also going to be the case in terms of music, and we saw it a lot in a program that we started about a year and a half ago, a partnership with a company called Hit Record. And it enables our fans to come with us in the adventure and create things for good and evil. Here is a small excerpt of everything that we've been able to do together.
We have partnered with a company at the forefront of community collaboration, Hit Record.
I'm really looking forward to discovering what you will create.
We're going to be making a bunch of music, visual assets that go into Beyond Good and Evil 2.
From giant frescoes to murals, street art, music, and much more.
We need to emphasize the fact that it's a collaborative process, so we've worked with the community to create this artwork.
The craziest thing is the result, actually.
The quality is amazing.
We were all floored.
Yeah.
here, what we are listening to is also a community-created asset.
That's me! Oh my god! Oh
In the city,
my
so
god!
you've got,
Yes! They use that in right there! Oh my god! My music, my voice is on a video game. That's a dream come true. That is hella cool. Oh my god. I'm gonna start crying, so I'm gonna say bye now.
Alors, pour parler un petit peu
So
de
to
ce
talk about
partenariat,
this
j'ai
partnership,
plaisir
I
d'accueillir
have
Guillaume
the
Brunier,
pleasure of
senior producer.
having
Salut,
Guillaume
Guillaume.
Brunier, who is
Salut,
the senior
Ça va bien?
producer.
Ouais.
How are you? Hi, guys.
Bonjour à tous.
Hello, everyone.
Ici à Paris,
Hello,
à
everyone
tout le monde,
in
derrière
Paris
un
and everyone behind their
en
screen,
France,
in France or anywhere else in the world.
Moi, je suis vraiment super
So
content
I'm
d'être
really
là,
happy to be
ce
here
soir,
tonight
parce que j'ai la partie la plus facile.
because I have the easiest job.
J'ai la partie la plus facile parce que
I have the easiest job because for everyone who was here at the beginning of the show, Yves said what's important now to Ubisoft is to make sure that you, the fans of our games, of our universes, that we get you implicated in our games as the most we can. And that's what we're doing in BGE too. So for those who know the system, what you were saying a second ago, Charlotte, a year and a half we launched this partnership with Hit Record, an American company, and we hi guys, they're in Los Angeles, and they really enable us, thanks to their platform, to give you the possibility, we're giving you collaborative challenges so that you can create elements that are going to end up in the game, and they already have actually. Artwork, music. So that's what we're going to talk about. How does it work? Well, you can see. The idea is that we create a kind of creative brief. We say we want an image that represents a Ganesh divinity, for example, that we want on the walls of our city. Everyone participates with their own levels, their own ideas, slogans. Everything is put together to create a final image, and it's used in the city. It's used on the walls. So since we started, we've created many assets already, and we were completely floored by the quality of what was done. The diversity of what you proposed, the talent that you have. As a dev team, we thought it was absolutely awesome. So you made art, but you made images, but you also made music. And so we have a small machine to have you listen to some of the cuts of the music that you made with us this year.
Give me a bag of candy. You're listening to Radio Cheetah. Hopping in my ship, heading to shopping at the area. Hey, fuckface. Yo, ho, ho, you're a worthy.
The hell do you think you're doing?
你为什么看我吗？我告诉你。
Включи наконец-то радио Gaye Ganpati Jagvandana.
So there you go. So a big round of applause to you. What you created is really incredible. Actually, Raph, you talked a lot. You worked a lot with fans on the music. How did that go? Yeah, it was a process that was very long, very interesting, because at the beginning we started receiving just bits of ideas, and then we started giving more direction, and we had, with Hit Record, a lot of back and forth with Christophe and Alex Carlotti, our audio director. We'd listen to a lot of things, we'd go through things, and some songs really came out of that, and we started working on those specifically. And every Friday we do these reviews, listen to all the songs, and give indications what the things that we wanted to have made better. And Hit Record would give these ideas out to the community. So it also gave us jingles for radio, and that's Radio Cheetah, which is in the game. And the result was always really surprising and very satisfying. And so today, what's really great is that we're announcing that we have new creative challenges that are already available on the Hit Record page. So we're continuing this experiment with you because it's been really awesome. We have many new things. Chris, what do we have? We have new things on pirates, because pirates are going to kind of feed off of the music of many different ethnics that are in the game. But one thing that I wanted to add, one composer can make 30 different songs, sure. But this is 30 people for one song, and it's something that's extraordinary. Many different brains on all the music, and many hearts as well. So that means that all the different songs that you heard, we want to make more. We're going to keep on going with that project. And another project that the fans launched was album covers. That's what the fans started. They said, hey, it would be great. And we said, yes, go for it. And we want to have more of those. That's a project that you can participate in right now with us. We also have something new this year. Yes, after creating songs for Radio Cheetah, we want to have shows, talk shows. So we want listeners to phone Radio Cheetah to share their testimony. Not on anything, just one subject for the moment, which is answering the question that everyone's been asking: what happened after the 2018 BGE2 trailer? What happened after that? So we have the legendary crew of the Ghana face to face with another ship, and there's a terrible danger, and that's where it stops. So you, as pirate captains, we want you to call Radio Cheetah and give your version of the facts. It might be very serious. It might be something that you heard in a bar deep in Ganesha City. It might be something that you imagined or a hallucination. Or you might even say, hey, I was there, that's what happened. We want your version of the facts. And we want to integrate them into talk shows. So that's new for us. It's really exciting. And we have one more mashup to show you and kind of recap everything we just said.
Let's see what we've got.
You're listening to Radio Cheetah. Hybrid for life. Hybrid for life.
Donc voilà, merci.
So there you go. Thank you. Something that I want to add, which is really important to us in the team. There are many fans of BG right here in Paris and people watching. You know how much BGE is based on stories. We like to tell stories, and Camille at the beginning of the stream was saying that that's what she was saying about characters, but it's really important to us. And this new challenge that we're giving you on kind of the listeners who can tell stories in space, we want to share with you this work and thinking about what stories are going to exist in BG. So we're counting on you to invent really cool stories and really things that work in our universe. And just like we said, just like I said at the end of the video, any contribution that is used in the game will be paid for. You know, as the previous ones, anything that's used is paid for. That's what we wanted to say about you in the game. And we also want to insist on the fact that anyone can contribute, whatever your level. Yeah, I forgot to say that. That's why I'm saying it. Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. So yeah, anyone can contribute right now on hitrecord.org/BGE game. and start to create and look at all that with us. So actually, talking about that, this is part of a community program, the Space Monkey program. We've got all the logos everywhere. In this program, there's almost 700,000 people. So thank you, 700,000. That's huge. Thank you. So if you want to join up with us and learn what that program is, go to bgegame.com/Space Monkey program. So this Space Monkey report, this live stream is coming to a close. Thank you to everyone who watched online and in person. To all those who signed up to the newsletter, just after this No, that's for people who are here. They can go to the mezzanine. But before we come to a close, we have a small surprise. So that's what we're going to leave you with. Thank you.
Nous, on s'en va, nous?
Ouais, on se casse.
Ouais, nous, on s'en va, d'accord.
J'ai loupé quelques trucs, mais c'est normal, tu ne fais jamais 100%. Mais enfin là, j'étais 98. Attends, par contre, le premier... je sais pas si le premier mec qui était tout à gauche, le premier mec qui était à gauche,
Patrice, Raphaël, Romuald, Jérôme, Maxence, Nassono, Mathieu qui a fait les traductions. À bientôt.
Je la prendrais bien en photo, moi.